Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. Today I want to talk about my aspirational Burning Arrow Vigour life stacking Ignite Elementalist version. Uh, Assumption, I have 5 mirrors to spend on this build. What would I do? What would I craft? What would I change to my current version, which is around 100 divines. So this video is a theory crafting video, okay? This goes over PUB stuff, calculations, and those kind of things. There will be no gameplay, no nothing, just what would I do with 5 mirrors? How would I adapt my character? Kind of video, okay? So if you're looking for gameplay, then please check out my yesterday's video, which is an entire build guide about my current version, and also my budget daily strands video where you see this build in action. And where do we start with this entire thing? So basically, PUB, this is basically what I cooked up with, and this is currently against Uber bosses. So if I would do no bosses, my Burning Ground does 30 million, okay? Burning Ground. And what is Burning Ground is basically 25% of the base Ignite, right? So if we say we have 30... 2, 3, 2, 9, 4, 5. This is my Burning Ground times 4 because it's only 25%. We would technically sit on 120 million Ignite DPS. So against Guardians or standard bosses, it's Ignite capped. Against Guardians, it's Ignite capped. And against Uber bosses, it's Ignite capped. So I think this is like the first time I've ever seen an Uber boss Ignite capped kind of like build, or 500k below, but you guys get the idea, right? And I have here in my config, just to not fool anybody, I have here Malevolence is 100% reduced reservation. This is because of my Eternal Blessing. Because for some reason, if I put this in... Oh, wait, it works now. Because yesterday it didn't work. It said that I reserve I don't know how much life, basically, so we can put this away. Fine. I'm fine with that. So... what would I do? What would I corrupt? What other items would I get? How would I fix these kind of things? So first of all, I think the first change that I would do is I would play with Awakened Arrow Nova support, Awakened GMP, and a Corrupted Widow Hail with +1 arrow. This is not about how to get more damage, because like flat fire damage would be more damage, but it's about the feels good kind of thing, right? And this is basically the kind of like EK Ignite version of Burning Arrow, where you just have a shit ton of projectiles with the Widow Hail giving you one additional projectiles, maybe even a quiver with a corruption with additional arrow, right? Then we have the Awakened Arrow support giving you 5 arrows, and Awakened GMP would give you another arrow, right? So you would have like an insane amount of arrows that you would shoot, and I think that would feel a lot better for clearing in that case, right? So then for the helmet, let's go from top to bottom, right? Helmet would be a crafted either Blizzard Crown, or this is like the other thing I want to talk about. I have here like a couple of Apostate version in here as well, so you can just scroll around. I think I would go for Armor Evasion base or a Blizzard Crown. Blizzard Crown gives you more damage, makes it easier to apply those what do you say, chills to proc our sadist node on our large cluster jewel, basically, right? But the thing here is, I would go with the Warlord Redeemer with the Ignite faster, nearby enemies have negative fire resistance, and preferably physical damage taken as fire or any other resistance, increased life, and spell suppression. So the thing is, if you would plan it with spell suppression, which I haven't done on this PUB, but this is something I would do, is probably skip the Thread of Hope and basically skill over here and take the Mage Bane with the reflexes with the 15% spell suppression, and this should get you easily or quite easily spell suppression capped, right? What am I talking about? Basically, you have then, if you don't play with the Chaos Heart, you have like spell suppression on your chest, on your gloves, on your boots, and on your helmet, if all of these are armor evasion bases. And then you can also go ahead and get 1 maximum resistance on your armor mastery, since all of our pieces have armor and evasion, so they can roll spell suppression as well as getting the maximum resistance over here. Then next thing, so that's basically your double elevated helmet. Then for the quiver, I would pretty much stay with the same as I have here, just with a bunch of T1 rolls, right? T1 life, T1 damage with bows, T1 movement speed. I think I value this very high. Dot multi, fire dot multi, and attack speed. There is another way where you could say you play this with a Pierce Quiver, so you get like 3 pierces out of your Widow Hail, but honestly, I feel the attack speed just feels a lot better. Then, the Chaos Heart. So either you stay with the Chaos Heart, and you could potentially have like a a non-unique chest and you throw in this like this enchant with like the 15% increased life or something, and then chance it into glorious plate if you want to, I guess that works. It just doesn't work this way because I tried the what is it, tempering orbs or tailoring orbs, but it says this has modified sockets, so you cannot roll any enchants on it. But I guess if you do it on a rare base and then chance it, this might actually work. But you could also do an armor evasion based chest and get another 6-link out of it. So you could either have like a snipe 6-link and a non-snipe clearing skill, or you make like a very nice Stonebrand setup, not Arcanist Brand, because Stonebrand, Hex Touch, then Ally Weakness, Flammability, Combustion, and I don't know, anything else where you would say this is fine, so you are not bound to use like a Flammability on Hit Ring. Then, next on, we have the gloves, boots. Basically, this is the same as the helmet, basically. You want to have an armor evasion base. There is newer bases here. I think the Worm Scale bases or something. I would try to get this with faster ignites, but you're most likely not gonna get this because I'm having those in Life Search since a week and I've never seen a pair. But what you could also do is just take any armor evasion base with ignite faster and then spam Chaos Essences to hit spell suppression, and then go for suffix cannot be changed, reforged life, and then craft like additional projectiles. This is what I would do. Then I would get perfect fire exposure, because with the adorned, with all the dot multi from the quiver, the fire exposure is better than the fire dot multi in that case. So dot multi would be the T4 modifier, while exposure would be the T6 modifier. Then on the boots, it's pretty much the same thing. Fractured spell suppression on the best armor evasion base. Then spam Chaos Essences for any resistance. And then Reforge Life gets a movement speed, get the ignite faster, and the action speed. You can take Scorched Ground for even more DPS, but I think this build would have so much DPS anyway, so you just want to try to get as much quality of life. Then this build is kind of like your best in slot, but I know people like Mageblood, people like Headhunter, same as I do. I would go with either. Like, either is fine, you know? If you say, hey, you want to go Mageblood, then I would go for a Granite Flask, a Jade Flask, probably the Spell Suppression Flask, and a Silver Flask, and then keep the Ori at end, basically. You don't want to run Progenesis just because you don't want to take dots with this build, right? With a Headhunter, I would stay with the same flasks, probably just live with the extra modifiers that you get, and if you don't want to play with either, then the Died and Dawn with Corrupted, Malevolence, and Increased Life or something would be your best bet. The gem setup would not change personally, so what else would we do with corruptions? I don't think... Blizzard Crown, you don't want to get corruption on, right? Widow Hail, I would say best would be increased attack speed, which is local to the Widow Hail for faster snipes, and additional arrow. Fire damage would be more damage, but we have so much damage, I would go for a complete quality of life setup on this one. Then corruption, cannot be poisoned, cannot be bleeding, all these kind of things that remove ailments or make you like damage immune. Even better with Malevolence, Aura Effect is your go-to. On the Ashes for a corruption, maybe 1 to max resistance, maybe what else would there be nice? The additional curse I don't think is necessary at all, but you know, Malevolence, Aura Effect, something like that should be quite nice to have. Then here is no corruptions, and here none either. Good. Skill tree-wise, obviously a 100% adorned, because this would open up for something completely different, since, as I say again, we have so much damage. I would go for maximum resistance jewels. So you can get some maximum resistance here with the Mastery and here with the Nomadic Teachings, but that gives you just a good amount of max resistance. But there is max like magic jewels with 2 to maximum resistance, so I would go for like probably increased life and 2 maximum resistance. And we're not gonna talk about synthesized items, you know, synthesized magic jewels, you know, like whatever there can be on there, whether it's life, strength, fire damage, you know, people that are doing synthesized adorned stuff, you know, they probably know how this thing works and what are the potential upgrades that you could get. I did not add any of those in this kind of like version. Good. Next thing, as I said, best corruption jewels, I would say, is the effect of non-damaging ailments because of better shocks, you know, so that's more damage. Adorned, Sublime Vision is fine, Watcher's Eye would be your best bet. Everything that has to do with Malevolence. Since we only have Malevolence, we can only use that aura, so dot multi, damaging ailments, bleed immune, poison immune, whatever you can find on that. Recovery rate and stuff like that is useless because we are never, like, we have, like, our Dissolution of Flesh, so means we are always in full life as soon as we stop taking damage. Then Megalomaniac, I think this is like kind of like the coolest thing here. Whatever you can fit in here. Maybe it's a max resistance somewhere else. Maybe Prismatic Skin or whatever these kind of like max resistance notes are that you can find on Medium Cluster or Megalomaniacs might be a thing. Then, as I said, you could go branch out here to the Spell Suppression if you want to go for it. I personally think it would be worth it because, as I said, so much damage, like... I would even go ahead and remove the Chaos Heart, maybe not even get a life modifier onto the chest, so we get another 15% increased maximum life if you have no life modifiers on equipped body armor. So how would that look like? A chest with increased armor evasion, percent armor evasion, resistances, and Searing Exarch Eater of Worlds implicit for Malevolence aura effect, and maximum resistance, for example, right? So to get you up, I mean, I could just see this build getting to like 85 to 90% max resistance while still rocking like 20,000 life and still being like insanely tanky overall, right? Then it would be nice to have more, like, you need like an avoid being shocked with avoid being shocked on the implicit as well, because with adorned, wait, if you have an adorned 100%, you need a 50% chance to avoid being shocked, and you could save up this entire life tree, and then I would go ahead and just pick this life mastery on the way to Mage Bane and the Evasion Mastery. Frenzy Charge is very nice in this build. Endurance Charge is very nice in this build. I would personally not go out of my way and get like max Power Charge rings or max Endurance Charge rings in that case, right? I don't think this is too necessary. Unbound Ailments is actually not your best support gem. I just put this in just to have like a better feel, because I don't like when ignites are only lasting 2 seconds. The better support gem would actually be ally damage with attacks, which would actually make you ally reflect immune, but this is up to you if you want to change that. So, what else do I have in my PUB that I might have forgotten? I don't think anything. This Progenesis, I'm gonna remove that. It's not gonna be in the PUB because this is not how it's supposed to do or work. But yeah, the PUB is in the description below. I'm gonna quickly min-max this and fix like the stat requirements and those kind of things, so you have a safe PUB to follow if you want to go really ham. I personally think this is the strongest Ignite build that you can play in 325 Settlers of Kalguur League, and yeah, this build is just, if you like Ignite, you're gonna love this build. Alright guys, thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.